The freshman year of baseball is a very stressful one for many athletes. Multiple middle schools and travel teams now filtering into one large program. Most schools have an A and a B team for larger participation numbers. But at Oak Lawn High School, the pressure is even greater. So there's just one team, 20 spots, 19 boys, and one girl. Meet Danielle Allen. Danielle's story isn't just unique because she made the boys' baseball team, but because she excels on the team. Hitting in the middle of the order, Danielle's goals go further than her freshman year of baseball. She wants to be a varsity starter one day, and eventually represent her country by making the USA Baseball Women's National Team.
I'm Danielle Allen, a freshman at Oak Lawn High School.
I met Danielle 2 falls ago when Dan Puente and I were out working one of her travel team practices, and he came over to me and said, "Hey, you got to watch this girl hit." And I guess because I see so many swings, very rarely do I get wowed anymore, just because that's all I do is look at swings for a living. But when I watched Danielle hit, it really took me back. I was like, holy cow, this girl has something special. And I think that's a good word to describe her. She's really just a special person, a special player. I kind of probed her at that time and asked her some questions and went over to her mom and said, what are your goals with this? Because inevitably someday the softball coaches are going to come after you. Is this the route you want to take? Do you want to become a baseball player? And if so, what's the end goal? And when she told me she wanted to play eventually for the U.S. national team, I said, okay, then we need a plan.
It'd be amazing. It's always been my dream to be on Team USA, and I think it'd be, pretty awesome to represent your country. So to be able to be on the national team and playing with all of their girls would be really cool.
Together, and we started to come up with a game plan of how we were going to get her there, and she had some things that she needed to adjust in her game, and we talked about that and put together an action plan. Danielle and I have been hitting together in the facility for about 18 months now.
So they filmed me in slow motion. I got to put up against Paul Konerko, and then we looked at his swing compared to mine, and we saw that I was moving my shoulders too quickly. So then I had to line it up with his, and it was really cool. It helps you visualize what you're doing, because usually people just tell you, but you're not really sure what they mean. But when they show it to you on a video, you're able to say, oh, that's what I'm doing. And then you can visualize in your head how you're going to fix it. No one's ever shown me anything like that. And so when I go, it always makes me hit better. Yeah, all the fundamentals, and it's not like I'm doing the same thing every time. Every time we build off of it, and I get even better. Every time she hits, she draws a crowd, and although she's very polite, and then the people ask her, do you play baseball? And I'm sure she has to answer that question all the time. She always says yes and gets right back to work. But I'm sure at some point in the back of her mind, she's probably thinking, get over it, I'm a baseball player. Yeah, I love playing baseball, not softball. I've been playing since I was little. But the softball coach is my English teacher, so I already told him that I was just going to play baseball.
My name is Jason Pollard. I'm head freshman coach here at Oak Lawn High School. Wow. Wow is probably the word that describes what when I started taking first BP. Lineup-wise, I see her probably somewhere in the middle of the order. I got to keep that bat in the lineup somewhere based on practice and everything. I don't see her having a problem fitting in right in our lineup and playing almost every day. Her work ethic and her incredible bat speed. Over the last year, I joked even with some of our elite coaches that she has as good a bat speed as a lot of the players in any reputable travel program. So it's not surprising to me that she's going to be hitting the middle of the order for her freshman baseball team. But I think if you ask her going down the road, she sees herself as a varsity player one day. I think the offensive capabilities that she has will give her a chance to do so. Something to be said about somebody that's taking the more difficult path. And that's something I think as baseball coaches we really respect, and I definitely respect that in her. It's not going to be easy. So we talk about more than just hitting. When we go through these lessons, I think we talk about some of the obstacles that she's going to have to overcome. Well, sometimes people I hear them say, is that a girl over there? A travel program that I worked with in Chicago that last April was short players, and I asked Danielle if she'd come out and fill in during one of these games. And she played first base, and I told the boys ahead of time what to expect, and she was coming out, and they all welcomed her, and they were great with her. But it was about a 35-degree night out in the suburbs, and she was playing, and I think she opened everybody's eyes in the crowd when she made a diving, parallel to the ground, full extension catch, and then end up doubling a player off first base. And everybody kind of looks at each other, wow, this girl really can play. I mentioned something yesterday to Danielle saying that I think this is awesome what you're doing. I said it takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing, to come out into a boys' sport and play it, being a female. It's not just a cool story because she's a girl playing a boys' sport. It's because she can compete and she can excel, and that's
it's a special thing for me to be able to kind of see this transform over the last couple of years. And I know in a few more years, hopefully I can help her make that last step of making a U.S. national team.